Hello and welcome to this edition of SFG Top Performance Podcast. Today we'll do a grain and feed update. Mike King's with me. I'll run through some quick grain stuff, and just for reference, we're filming this on Thursday the 30th of March, and so if you don't see this till next week, by chance you'll understand that some things have happened since we did this. In the last couple of weeks since our last podcast, we've seen the corn market gain back a good part of what we'd lost previous. We're not back where we were, but we've got at least 50% retracement, which has been a good thing. China has come into the buying picture in the last 2 weeks and bought the corn that they were expected to, and they will probably buy a fair amount more. The corn coming out of the Ukraine is suspect to quality, and Brazil's pretty well sold out of their first crop already, so that brings the market back to us, and we're competitive in the world, so hopefully we can keep pushing it out the door. Basis has stayed good domestically between the processors and the rail and the river markets. There's a good demand for corn, so I look for corn the old corn to stay pretty good property, especially until we get planting season done and get an idea of where we're at as far as weather and acres. Beans have kind of been a yo-yo. I mean, it really has been for probably the last 6 weeks. A lot of movement up and down, more down than up. In the last week or so, we've gotten some back, but we probably have lost the top of the market unless something happens here between now and summer, which very well could, The big news will come tomorrow, the 31st of March. The USDA releases their prospective planting intentions report. That's always one of the top 3 or 4 reports of the year. There'll be a lot of attention given to it. And this year there's a wide variety of guesses. On the corn side, it runs anywhere from 88 million to 92 million. The average kind of lands in that 91 something, which would be more than last year, but definitely not overabundance possibly for where our stocks to use ratio is today. On the bean side, everybody's a little closer. There's not a big spread there. Appears that we'll be planting similar acres to a year ago, somewhere in that 88 million acres. Wheat is up. Winter wheat was up quite a bit. Spring wheat could fall back. The plains, the northern plains, they're having quite a bit of winter going on yet. They got another foot of snow this past weekend. Chance they'll get more this weekend. We're going to get storms possibly down this area tomorrow, but up in the Dakotas, they're talking maybe another 8 to 10 inches of snow. So it's still winter up there. Long ways to go. So with that, the western plains continue to be dry. There's moisture down south, Mississippi, Arkansas, Alabama, they're wet. But you get out in the western Kansas, Colorado area where it was dry last year, it's still dry. They haven't caught the rain that's inundated the west coast. So there's still some wheat out there that's probably going to get grazed off and won't be taken to harvest. And so some of those acres will disappear. With all this taking place, we are sure to see a lot of volatility in these markets. And what's new? We've seen that for going on 2.5 years. And so it appears today that will not stop, that we'll continue to see wide swings in the market. And that'll give you opportunities and heartache both. You kind of got to watch and decipher the two and take advantage of some of the ups and get some crop priced. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mike, and he's got some information on the livestock feed.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Guys, spring has started yesterday. I was out in the country, and I looked, and I did a double look. And guys ran hydrocin. A couple guys I pulled in their yards, and they were filling seeders. They were getting ready to seed. So it's on the way. So I know creep feed may not be on your mind, but we book creep feed, and we got prices covered for you It'll cover the time period April through September. We will get a September price hopefully before too long. Just a reminder, we do rent creep feeders. It's $2.50 a day. And let us know on creep feeders, because first comes, first serve. Because I know we're not going to have enough, I'm sure, for this year. I'd like to have you consider your spring and summer mineral needs, whether it be fly control products or without fly, or if you need the C6000 for anaplasm. We'd like to get you covered, make sure you got what you need, and before you guys get in the field, because once you get in the field, then you say, oh darn, I should have got this, I should have got that. And that brings up high mag. You need to start on a high mag here pretty darn quick and feed it for like 21 days, because we don't know what the spring's going to be like, but if we have a good spring and have good grass, we want to make sure we don't have any magnesium problems. If you don't want to do loose mineral, we do have mineral in tubs, whether it be a standard mineral. If you need fescue tubs, we do have the fescue tubs as well. So please check with us. Fescue, you guys all know in this area what fescue is like. So just a reminder, start on the fescue mineral or tubs 3 weeks before fescue gets going, so we can get it in the system and get the cow ready for it. And just a quick reminder, I know you probably all get tired of me saying this, but not all fescue minerals are the same. And our fescue mineral, which has the FEB in it, is the only fescue mineral that will actually bind the endophyte and remove it from the cow. So other options out there, they'll just lower the body temperature. That's better than nothing, but I want it out of the cow. We want to get mama bred this summer. The cattle market thing, as you all know, we're probably seeing record prices now, but guys have been telling me they're paying $235 to $250 for 450-pound calves and going out on grass. We got a lot of guys buying calves and going to run them out on grass, and then they'll sell them this fall. So cattle prices are good. Fats are bringing 170, and so finally you guys are getting paid for your work. I talked to a beef nutritionist that I've known for a long time, and he talks to a lot of feed yards all the way up to 50,000 head in a lot of big cow operations. And he said this cattle market is for real as far as cow numbers down and so forth. So he's telling me that if we think prices are good on feeders and everything now, he said, wait till fall. He said, and forward. He said, you'll see prices you've never seen before. So take care of everything. Keep it healthy because there's a lot of money sitting there. Just want to report to you on the Hubbard's Blueprint Minerals. Since the first of the year, I got another load coming the 11th of April. We've moved about 3 semi-loads of mineral. And the reason is the farmer says at calving time, with the biomass in there, I don't see the scours. Cows are cleaning, and calves are strong and healthy and get up and nurse. Otherwise, the standard blueprint for the rest of the time, or if you need the fescue. So the reasons for that is 100% chelated trace minerals, and that's the most bioavailable way we can give it to the cow for health and fertility. Show feeds. Show feeds are rolling. So I just want to remind you, if you have a preference to a Show-Right product or a Kent show feed, we have them or can get them. And if you prefer a home mix, we can use those to make a mix, whether it's beef, swine, or sheep. So some of you guys are doing this already, but just a reminder, fly control. You know, you can buy these misters and go out and spray the cows. They run real quiet, so it doesn't bother the cow, but it covers the whole cow. It's a pretty good way to control the fly program. And you may want to consider that and get your minerals without fly control in them, because this mister program actually really does work. Everybody's talking about prices are good, but still, you know, money is tight in a point. But remember this, there's feeder finance, that's 0% interest. So if you drop a calf today, you got a whole year from now before you got to pay it, or you can pay on it anytime you want. But you got to have feed anyway, and why go to the bank and pay them 7 or 8% when you can do the feeder finance for 0? If you don't want to do the feeder finance, the John Deere Financial is a very good program as well. So you guys are busy now calving, and you're gonna get busier than a kite here pretty soon in the field. So let's get stuff taken care of. Call me, we'll get her done. You know I like to go to the farm and see what's going on, so let's sit down and do it. And again, thank you for the support you are giving us. On behalf of Smiths and myself, we do appreciate your business. Thank you.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the podcast. We look forward to seeing you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you.